So I watched this movie recently called House Arrest. It was meant to be a comedy of sorts, but somehow it turned into a mirror. And not the kind of mirror that you glance at and then you see what you see and then you dismiss, but the kind that stares back and stares hard into your soul and it gets you thinking. And the whole plot of the movie basically was about a lady who placed her brother, who happens to be Uzo Arukwe, and his wife, who happens to be Bimbo Ademoye, on house arrest to force them to talk. No distractions, no third party, no lawyers, just time, truth, and of course, a lot of tension. And, of course, after a few days, somewhere between day one and day who even knows when, they remember the reason they got married. They remember the why behind their we. And after watching this movie, which, bear in mind, had a lot of ups and downs, prolonged scenes, I had a lot of issues with the movie, don't worry. But I took some gems from the movie and it got me thinking that how many divorces happen not because the love was truly gone, but because the words were. Because you see, divorce is easy. It's easy to threaten to divorce someone. I'm going to divorce you. I'm going to divorce you. But you see, dialogue, communication, and that is where the real bravery is. It takes a lot of sitting in discomfort, a lot of saying, I'm not trying to win. I'm trying to understand. And a lot of, okay, I want to hear you out for you to be really brave. Because the real villain when it comes to like relationships not working is not really conflict. It really is silence. The build up of swallowed truth and ego and assumptions and you always do this or you never do this. But dialogue, communication, talking about it is how you drain the poison, the rot, the tension before it rots out everything that is still good, in your marriage. So what if the greatest act of love wasn't leaving to protect your peace, but staying to fight for it together? Not house arrest, but heart release through words, through active listening, through choosing conversation before the courtroom. Now, of course, there are exceptions like in cases of abuse, but I don't know who needs to hear this. Maybe the door doesn't need to close. Maybe it just needs to stay open long enough for the dialogue to do its work. Maybe you need to talk about it, have real conversations, talk about the hard truths, and let communication truly be the blood that flows in the vein of your relationship. Anyways, if you want to watch House Arrest, it's showing on YouTube. Like I said, it had its ups and downs, and of course, some